Maine, Mainum. Ain, Maine, Maine. Maine, may I. The Maine, may I. The Maine, may I. The Maine, may I. The Maine, Mainum. Ain, Maine, Maine. Maine, may I. The Maine, may I. In a Maine, ma. In a Maine, may I. The Maine, ma. In a Maine, may I. The Maine, The Maine, ma. And then Maine, Mainum. Ain, Maine, He may end Maine. He may end Maine. He may end Maine. And then Maine, may I then. Ain, Maine. Ain, Maine. He may end Maine. And then Maine, may I then. Ain, Maine, may I then. He may end Maine. And then Maine, may I need. Maine, and then Maine, am I. Then Maine, ma. And then Maine, may I them. Ain, Maine, ma. And then Maine, may I. The Mainum. Ain, Maine. Delaware. Delaware, a Delaware, aware Delaware, a Delaware reed, Laware Della, Ara Delaware, a Delaware, Delaware, Delaware reed, Laware Della, Where Delaware, Red Delaware, Delaware reed, Laware Della, R Delaware, Della, Where Delaware, Delaware Delaware, Red Delaware Della, Where Delaware Reddle, Aware Delaware reed, Laware Delaware, Elaware Delaware, a Delaware Della, Ara Delaware Edel, Aware Delaware reed, Laware Delaware Edel, Aware Delaware Delaware, Ara Delaware Delaware, Delaware Edel, Aware Delaware, a Delaware Della, Where Delaware reed, Laware Delaware, Elaware Delaware die, Laware Delaware Della, Ara Delaware, Delaware Edel, Aware Delaware Edel, Where Delaware Della, where Delaware Della W, Ara Delaware Della reed, Delaware Edel, Aware Delaware Della W, Ara Delaware. So I want to pause for a minute to take a second to explain what this is and how we got here. Because this is primarily a piece of visual art that has now entered the sonic realm. And I think it has, an interesting backstory that's worth talking about. So, Courier's Text Atlas of the United States of America is an artist book that I made, finished in March 2013, so a little over a year ago. And it came out of my interest in typography and maps, and this kind of interest in trying to use type to create maps. So it started as what I thought was just an exercise of sitting down and typing every single state in the country. And when I say type, I literally mean that. I used Microsoft Word to do this, because that's the best tool I had. Each state took probably an average about an hour. And it was just kind of this exploration. But it rapidly became apparent that it was in fact much more interesting than just an exercise. And a lot of things started popping out that I hadn't really thought of before. Next slide. For instance, all these words started popping out within the states, like you see the word renew in New Hampshire, that I had never really noticed. When you connect New Hampshire again and again, you end up with it. Next slide. Or the way that you read words. Idaho starts to look like hoida, hoida. Idaho. Or next slide. Utah looks like And so I just thought it was kind of interesting your way your brain kind of flips these things around. Next slide. You also start to get these really interesting, like almost topographic patterns. If you kind of blur your eyes at it, you start seeing these kind of stripy curves And that comes out of the fact that, you know, some letters are darker than others and they have different shapes, and the way they line up in different lines, you get these patterns. And every state has its own pattern, which kind of distinguishes it. Next slide. You also get these kind of interesting phase patterns. You know, Colorado is a fairly boring shape for a state, it's just a square, but it turns out that it was actually exactly one letter short of a full multiple of its name, so every line shifts by only one letter. So you get these neat zigzags. You know, this is totally accidental, just based on the process. Next slide. And then you get these kind of interesting differences between geographic and political borders. Even though this map is all in black and white, you can still make out the differences in the states, again, because of the different shapes of letters, and some are darker than others. So I typed every single state and the full country, and you know, ended up putting it together in this book. Next slide. So in book form, it made me think a lot about this kind of duality of text and image, and how every map was kind of both. I definitely thought of each one as if it were, you know, this image thing as well as a piece of text. You know, when you look at this map of Alaska here, the first thing that pops out, at least to me, is it looks like Alaska. And you know, you read it, but you definitely don't read the whole thing, right? You read enough to realize that, oh, it just says Alaska again and again and again. And so in that sense, it's almost like the image is kind of higher up in the hierarchy of what's going on. But on the other hand, you know, text is the total foundation of everything that's going on here. Everything is following these strict rules of left to right typing. You know, you start with the word on the left side of the line, and when you get to the end of the line, the word breaks and picks up exactly where it's left off on the next line. So, you know, text is a major formation of it. So text and image are kind of acting in this dual nature here. Next slide. So thinking about the idea of it being text, I thought, well, if it's a piece of text, then you can read it. But how do you read something like this? It's a pretty solid, unapproachable block of text like that. And I was talking to a friend of mine about this in February, Michael Newton, and he suggested the idea of using a computer text-to-speech reader to read it, which I tried, and it turned out to be a great idea. Because the computer will barrel through anything. It has its algorithms for figuring out how to read something. And it only breaks at the line. It treats every line as if it were a single word and tries to read it that way, which is why you get these kind of interesting, strange sounds. And it's kind of inherently inhuman. You know, it sounds very much like a computer trying to be a human, but isn't. You know, because if a human were to try reading it, it would probably be about breaking down the individual iterations of the state's name rather than trying to read it all as one word. And with the computer, you also get these really odd sounds, these kind of clicks and pops, and these strange overtones as vowels connect, and these kind of strange shifts in pitch. And every state starts to have its own kind of sonic feel. Much like every state has a distinguished shape, it also has this kind of sound feel. It's like, you know, listening to geography, I guess. And really what I felt like happened is it kind of got away from the world of reading, and it's like the computer turned into an instrument, and the maps became a score for this instrument to explore. So just to give you an idea of that, I wanted to play you an example of, so what the album is the computer reading it. So I wanted to play you an excerpt of that. So Dave, if you just...
WEST5, RGNI, Virginia, West Virginia, Virginia, West Virginia, Virginia, Ost Virginia, 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 Ost Virginia, 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 West Virginia, Virginia, East Virginia, West Virginia, 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 Virgin, East Virginia, Virginia, Virgie, East Virginia, Virginia, Sphere, Virginia, 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 East, Virginia, 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 Est Virginia, Virginia, Sphere, in East Virginia, Virginia, Est Virginia, Virginia, East, Virginia, Virginia, East, Virginia, Virginia, Oz, Virginia, Virginia, Ost Virginia 8, Virginis, Y.
So it's kind of fascinating, right? It's kind of hypnotic, and it's kind of fun to see how it's making the sounds. You'll notice that, you know, in the middle of the lines, you lose the W sound because it connects it to the A from the end of Virginia, and it turns into aw. So it's kind of peculiar the way it approaches these things. Next slide. So that's what this album is. Courier's Text Atlas of the United States of America, the album, is all 50 states plus the full country read by Alex, is the name of the computer voice. And so it's about 2 hours long. It's straight up process-oriented minimalism. But I really like that the album mimicked the process of the book. You know, the book, I follow this strict process of I'm going to type every state in, you know, geographically accurate, only using its name repeated. And the album follows this process of just subjecting each map to this computer text-to-speech reader. And you know, there really are a number of ways you could approach listening to it, but what I really intended is that the two are paired like that because they match each other so well. And so my intention was that you could read along while listening to it so you can sort of see why it's making the sounds that it's making, almost like a picture book, I guess. So there's a number of ways you can do that. The album is online, you can download it or stream it, and I have some books for sale, the artist book. They're $10 tonight, special sale. And then you can read along while listening to it. Or, in the near future, exact date yet to be determined, there's a digital version of the book coming out, hopefully, through Ugly Duckling Press. So then the whole thing will be online, and you will be able to read it and listen to it at the same time. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't signed up for the Gold Bolus mailing list yet, you should do that, and then you'll get updated when that happens. Next slide. So the final iteration of all of this was me thinking about, like, okay, so the computer's reading this, what would happen if I tried to read this? And basically, I've kind of removed myself from the idea of reading it. I have used the computer as a tool to teach me how to perform it. And so my reading of it isn't so much of a reading, it's much more of this kind of oral transmission that I've listened to the computer and kind of learned how to perform it based on listening to it. And so in that sense, it's almost become more of a performance piece or a piece of music than it is a reading of it. But still, I think it's kind of neat to read along. So I think that's enough about that. I could certainly talk about this for hours, and I'm happy to talk more details about any of this if you're interested later. But I think I'd just like to finish by reading one more state, which I'd like to dedicate to the state of New York. New York. New Year Nyorkin, Ooh Year Nyer Knee, or Nyer Nyorkin, Ooh Year Nyer Nyorkin, Ooh Year Nyer 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 Knee, Why Year Nyer Nyer Knee, or Nyer Nyer Nyorkin, Ooh Year Nyer 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 Nork, New Year Nyer Nyer Knee, or Nyer 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 Knee, Why Year Nyer Nyer Nyer, Knee Year Nyer 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 Yo, or Nyer 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 Nyer, New York New Year Nyer 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 New, your New York New Wire Nyer 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 Nyer. Near nyer 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 new. Your nyer 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 nyer. Near nyer 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 nyer. Your nyer 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 knee. Wire nyer 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 knee. Wire nyer 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 newy. Or nyer 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 nyer. New your nyer 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 new. Your nyer 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 nyer. Near nyer nyer knee. Wire nyer new. Ear nyer new. Ear nyer new, ear New Yorkin, ooh your knee, or new Y, or new Y-O, or knee your knee, or a New Yorkin, ooh York, N-E-W.
Stay tuned. We got one more thing, which is why live. Just a couple minutes, we're gonna set up, we're gonna hit it, it's gonna be great.